Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome to another high rating spectate. Today we're watching Olaf, and we're watching him because I actually think every now and then I should take a step back. I do predictions of like what do I think is going to be good, what do I think is going to be bad. We're not that far away from preseason, and that's when all the new items are coming into the game. I predict Olaf is going to be sleeper overpowered, and maybe not sleeper overpowered. I think he might just be overpowered. And maybe the word overpowered is wrong. He's going to be strong, okay? So there's like obviously a lot of new items coming, and one of the items is like a mega life-stealing item. That one, whatever it's called, I think it's going to be nuts on him because he already is a insanely strong duelist champion, and I think some people underrate him. Yeah, it might be Gore Drinker. A lot of people underestimate Olaf already. You can win top lane, you can do well in the jungle, and people are just like, Jesus, his healing and attack speed is crazy. Combine that with the new mythic item that also then does that too. I think it's going to be an interesting combo. So this game, we're watching Olaf top versus the Darius. And a lot of you, and I've always seen it, don't like Darius. Or like you like him, but like you think that, oh, Darius is really hard to beat in the 1v1. How the hell do you beat that champion and all that stuff? So we're going to give it a watch. And you see what Olaf can do, really. Also, this game has a Hecarim, who's a very strong jungler right now. Has a LeBlanc, which not really, I don't know, she's kind of fallen off. But I weirdly also have been seeing some LeBlancs in the game again. And then a kind of meta Jhin Janna lane. And then on the enemy team, you got the Darius, and this guy I would presume is a one-trick, has Darius in his name. His name is Dunk Mate Darius. Has a Karthus jungle, which again, haven't seen too many of those. Yone in mid, who is still a strong champion when he gets a couple of items under his belt. And then again, a kind of meta-ish Ezreal and Bard. But yeah, right. So Olaf going to go level 2. Going all in, misses the Q, Darius 1v1, and the Olaf misses even more stuff, has to dodge, flash the Q, because that would have been Darius passive procced, and you don't want to let Darius proc his passive at level 1 or level 2, because it's a lot of AD that is just way too much to overcome. But Olaf will survive the first kind of big fight between these two big champions. Darius, though, now on the back foot, you know, if I'm completely honest, he went pretty hard for the early game. He went Doran's Blade, Darius with no... Oh, that's a Hecarim. And that's a dead Darius. So nice Hecarim gank. Darius probably should have just gone back. But the reason why he didn't go back is because the way of top lane, because you're screwed if you get behind. He knows if he gets behind, he's going to be in trouble. And now he's missing all of this farm, all of this XP. But obviously now it's even worse because he's behind. But yeah. What do I think of Volibear top? Volibear top was pretty good. We were going to do a Volibear top episode before this one. But I couldn't find like a really good game to do. But the best Volibear players are mainly playing Volibear top lane, not Volibear jungle. So that probably tells you everything about the champion right now. Meanwhile, the enemy bot lane killing the Jhin with the Karthus helping. And that will probably be a dead Janna as well. Neely, is she dead? Doesn't look like it by the health bar. No, she is dead in the end. So Olaf basing and goes for a Kingle gem first item, which is for pure cooldown reduction. And then also a cloth armor too. D-Dum with 18 months of Prime. Thank you so much, dude. And says, keep up the great work. I love watching your stuff. Thank you very much. Means a lot for the long-term support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right, so Darius is going to try and recover a little bit. He probably doesn't want to push the lane because at the moment, if he overextend pushes, Darius having a level advantage. Meanwhile, 1v1 in mid lane, just have a little watch. Probably just going to be a fine LeBlanc. He does use Ignite, does him though. But yeah, the Darius could be in trouble, if I'm completely honest. The longer the lane goes, it gives an Olaf longer time to basically run people down, and he's dead. So yeah, this Darius should know this matchup. If he's a one-trick Darius by his name, I'm guessing he is. He should know he shouldn't have pushed that. He should have tried to freeze and get to level 6 where he may have been able to do something. Because, yeah, if an Olaf gets advantage, and by the way, I can't speak at the moment, apparently. Meanwhile, replays are still somewhat bugged. Yeah, the Darius is going to be in trouble. big trouble. So Darius shouldn't have pushed that. Olaf potentially looking for that, but may have been a bit risky. He may have killed the Karthus, but he probably also would have died. So he's not going to risk it overly. Dragon is being done because they see the Karthus in top lane. So that's a free dragon for blue team. 2v1 top lane now, though. This is a bit of a weird play. Little bit, but Olaf will stay around. He does have teleport, by the way, so he's not going to lose out on too much XP or anything, because he gets to go back for free if he's going to use TP, which I presume he's going to, because the Darius is now pushing it into his tower, and there's the teleport. Phage components building or coming from the Olaf, teleporting not even on his tower, teleporting straight on a minion, and once again lands level 6. Darius pops his ghost. Olaf is fine with waiting this out, by the way, because he's just wanting to wait out the ghost. Pops his ultimate, gets the bonuses, then with the auto attacks, Darius 2 levels down, unfortunately for him. And this is where this Darius just isn't being patient. He's not having the patience to be like, I can just wait. Meanwhile, Yone actually uses his E really early. I'm not even sure they're going to kill this Olaf here, unless Karthus has good patience, which he probably will. Yone's on his way back. Okay, yeah, Olaf will die. And in the attack speed, though, Karthus does get it in the end, not the Yone. And that will be that. All right, so bot lane, Jhin doing a bit of damage. Nothing major. Bard just gets a bit poked out. Janna Tornado coming through. Not going to land, I don't think. But the game itself going pretty good for Olaf. You know, this is Olaf, I will say. And by the way, if people are like, oh, this is a bit of a stomp game, that's Olaf. Olaf in top, from my experience, and I have played quite a bit of Olaf top, this is how it goes. You either get ahead in the early by doing the all-ins and you start to snowball, or you get behind in the all-ins early and it goes bad because then you're too squishy and you'll end up dying. That is Olaf top. There's not really any in-between at all, but that's just sometimes the way that it goes. But anyway, yeah, good night, Coda. See you later, Java Zava as well. Olaf gonna maybe look for a snipe. Apparently not. He wants to have the Hecarim have the kill. He could have probably easily taken that if he wanted it, but he's not going to, which I'm actually a bit surprised about. Maybe because he's already 3-1 and his Hecarim technically didn't have a kill, so it's a good idea to spread the fed. Anyway, Darius again 2 levels down, now 1 level, hits level 6, but he's on the back foot. He's doing a bit of damage. But the Hecarim comes in. And, you know, again, Darius should have known Hecarim was nearby. His Karthus just died down there to the Hecarim. So you know the horse is nearby, but he just doesn't respect it. So this Darius is having a pretty bad game. But I'm going to be honest, I do feel for him because I've been there. Meanwhile, Karthus not coming down. No kill as yet from it. Meanwhile, LeBlanc got a kill on the Yone, and Bard killed the LeBlanc, so probably Bard should have waited and given that to the probably should have given that to the Karthus, but that's just the way it goes. People saying, is the tilt? It's partial tilt, and it's partial, that's just how top lane goes. Top lane is an island lane for the most part. Like, notice so far that, you know, the Darius has fought the Olaf mainly in 1v1s. He couldn't really get away in his position. The only answer would have been just not be there in the first place. The Darius, from what we can tell, isn't warding too much, but it's a rough deal. And when you get behind, what sometimes people don't understand, when you get behind on something like Darius, it's so hard to recover the game. Like, nearly impossible. Meanwhile, he's fighting, again, 2 level advantage for Olaf, ultimate being popped. Darius nearly gonna do nothing, never mind. So, yeah, so the Darius is trying to recover, but he just can't. I'd say it is questionable him wanting these fights. He could just try to turtle the game, let the wave push in, and just farm. But as I was saying, the point, it's so hard to recover a game on something like Darius. The reason being, you're a melee bruiser that is supposed to be a little bit of tank and also some damage. So how do you recover a game when you can't fight anybody? The answer is you can't, really, unless you're just going to literally farm for a while, but then the Olaf against you, Olaf outscales a Darius. So what do you do as a Darius, you know? It's really difficult. It's the same kind of concept of, like, when you see a Rengar inting or feeding, not inting, but when you see a Rengar, meanwhile, Bard top lane, you're like, dude, why is my Rengar 0 and 8? Or why is my Yasuo 0 and 10? It's the type of champions. They have a playstyle. They have to go in. Darius's are kind of the same as well. Olaf is also the same, but this game has just gone well for him. But that's the way of the game. There are some champions that they do end up dying more because just inherently of how you have to play them. Olaf going Black Cleaver first item. Hasn't gone for Triforce. Maybe just hasn't felt the need, or he's expecting Darius to build some armor, considering how the game is going for Darius. You know, still hasn't even, by the way, got tier 1 boots. Olaf has got tier 2 boots, so it's a free rundown, basically, for Olaf any time that he has his ultimate up. Darius does have Ghost, but with the slows from Olaf, you can see, again, rundown happening. Darius has to be in XP range, but the problem now, he's trying to stay in XP range. He's popped Ghost, but he's going to survive this instance. But now next time, he doesn't have Ghost. This is the problem. Like, what does this Darius do? Like, Olaf could literally freeze this if he wanted to. He's not going to, because when you're fed, you probably don't want to freeze it. You want to have pressure on the game, not like wait. Because, you know, if you freeze it, Darius goes roams and it miraculously gets a double or a triple kill. You're like, oh, well, Darius is back in the game. But you want pressure. Obviously, pushing the wave, getting the towers is going to probably stop the Darius roaming as much, or if any. But, yeah. Unfortunately for the Darius, he tries to stay in XP range. But every single time he's going to do that, Olaf will just run at him. And again, there's not really anything that Darius can do. But so far, Olaf, if you haven't seen the strength of the champion, he is strong. Darius is no pushover in the 1v1. Again, Darius thought that Olaf was running away. Nope, the Olaf is just staying in top lane, and once again, the Darius is going to die. And I would say I've been in this position both on Olaf and Darius. It's a great feeling when you're playing Olaf. It's a horrible feeling when you're playing Darius. Like, oh, finally, Olaf's gonna roam. I've got the lane. I can farm. And then he dead. Yeah, actually, someone made a good point. Maybe something weird might be happening, because I'm pretty sure the Tribush was warded with it here. So yeah, that Darius knew Olaf was looping around. So this Darius might be... I don't think he's inting, by the way, if anybody might be thinking that. I don't think he's inting. I think this is just a bad game of Darius. And I'm sure many of you are enjoying this because Darius is a... Is he a hated champion in the league? I don't really know. Like, he's a champion that a lot of people have issues with, of like, oh, he has 2-3 of a lane phase. It's hard to beat him in a 1v1. Olaf, by the way, is well known for beating Darius because of this. Because the early game for Olaf is so snowbally that if you get ahead of a Darius... he can't do anything, as we've said several times this game. So if you are looking for a counter, or you're looking for a new champion in top lane, maybe Olaf. As I said, I think he's going to be incredibly strong with the new upcoming items. There are some, like a lot of items are benefiting Olaf completely. So think about Olaf next time that you're looking for a new melee all-in top laner. But do remember, it's an all-in top laner. You're going to have very good games of him and also some very bad games of him too. So Darius now in mid lane, by the way, and he's trying to find anywhere that he can get gold and XP. Meanwhile, dragon play is happening. LeBlanc gets a kill. Karthus gets a nice kill, though, on the Hecarim return. But Olaf is just going to stay top. Because, like, who's going to stop him? Darius is staying mid because he needs a bit of gold. But Olaf is 5-1. Darius is 0-6. He can't take him. Yone is 1-4. He can't take him. So who is going to stop him? If Karthus come nearby, he's strong, but he's going to die. So this is a perfect, what I would say, perfect split push game for Olaf. You don't need to group in this situation. You can just stay to split and just annihilate the towers. And if really the game keeps going, he'll be in the enemy base soon. You know? He literally will be in the enemy base. Meanwhile, LeBlanc gets a solo kill on the Yone, who is again continuing to fight, even though he's quite far behind. Yone kind of weirdly... when Blade the Ruin King first item, maybe because he's in a range matchup and he needs the slow, but I still think that's a little bit weird. I think Yone does need his crit to use his passive properly. Olaf looking to build a... is that Sterix? I think. And yep, he's just going to return, by the way, back to top lane. And here we go. So Darius, by the way, with his item, I think it's the wrong item. So... Olaf heals, and why I think, you know, as I said earlier, I think he's going to be very strong because the healing that Olaf does, especially then with Gore Drinker, is going to be mental. Because without any lifesteal items, just with Olaf's W and his passive attack speed, he heals a butt ton, even with Conqueror too. And I think Darius obviously is like, I need to stop his healing. The problem is you're already really far behind, and he's gone for the aggressive option for it. He's gone for Executioner's Calling. This game, where he's done this bad, I think Bramble Vest would probably be a better option, just to give him at least a little bit of armor. Do remind everybody that his E has true damage. His E is true damage, Olaf. So armor doesn't affect his E, if you guys didn't know that. Again, another really good thing that Olaf has. But his E, by the way, costs health to use. It's not a mana cost. It costs, at the moment, 78 health that will be taken away from Olaf when he uses his E. So if you're nearly dead and you press E, I don't think you can die from it, but it will leave you on 1 health, if I'm not wrong. But obviously, you know, it's a risk using it if you're in a 1v1 duel. That's quite close. He is maxing Q. I know within the Olaf player base, there is like a conversation about what to max. I have always maxed Q on Olaf. I just prefer it. But I'm also quite confident in landing my Qs on him. If you're not confident at landing your Qs, maybe E is better. Flash into the Carthus, gets himself the kill, and also a blue buff. That's quite nice. But yeah, I've always maxed Q. Literally never, ever, ever maxed E. But I you know, when I've uploaded Olaf videos and I've maxed Q, like always, you always get like, why are you maxing Q? It's the same when you play like Orianna. Some people don't get the Q max on her, weirdly. They're like, W does more damage. It's like, yeah, but your W doesn't do any damage if the ball isn't in the right place. Same with Rammus. Why are you maxing your Q? Why are you maxing the ball? Again, Rammus is all about using the ball to reposition and actually get to places faster. Same with Vi. You need your Q to do anything, really. But yeah, there's always champions that there are some champions that you can max multiple things, but everybody usually has their thing. Or it sometimes also can be match dependent. This game, Olaf went Q. Maybe if he was against something that literally just stood and fought him more, he could just press E. Who knows? But yeah, he survived the Yone there. Olaf panic ulting. It might not be in a panic because Olaf does gain resistances. Oh no, it's his passive. He gains passive resistances. Oh, I thought he only gets them if he presses R. Today I learned that Olaf doesn't just get them when he ults. There we go. I'm knowledgeable about League of Legends, apparently. Oh, does he lose the resistances when he ults? Oh yeah, he does. Maybe that was a bad idea to remove the resistances when he had a Yone on him. Possibly. Huh. He's going to steal the red buff, though. And his team is doing well in mid. They're just going for the tier thingy. Yone on the back foot. Hecarim just standing on top of him, and he will go down. I'm surprised, if I'm honest, Olaf is grouping, but they're going to use the Rift Herald, and they're probably going to break open to the base. So overall, this game was mainly a tale of two. Olaf going to try and chase down. He's popping his ultimate. He's running at the Ezreal. Obviously, Bard ultimate doesn't affect him because he's in his ultimate. He's a little bit low health. He's going to go over back to the inhib and get that. And Rift, one more charge. Yes, one more charge. Good value there. Hecarim doesn't want that to be up, so he will get that. Enemy team is not happy with that, but they are just going to escape. Nice play by Hecarim, actually, getting that before the enemy team forced them out. Yone misses his ultimate. This poor Yone. He will go down too. And there we go. So yeah, this game, as I said, is mainly Tale of Two Lanes. LeBlanc did really well against the Yone, and obviously the Olaf absolutely wrecked the Darius. But Hecarim in both of those instances did help also. So the Hecarim played well too. But bot lane didn't really do anything. A rage quitting, apparently, Yone. Is anybody surprised? Not really. And but yeah, this game I did what I wanted to show. It showed the early game snowball of top lane, but also just to try and make people understand why and how sometimes top lane goes so bad. Is you literally just get run down. This isn't just an Olaf thing, by the way. If you're against a Camille or even a Darius and you get behind one of these champions, well, Darius can ghost at you with his summoner ghost and just run at you, slow you with his W, E you, and you're dead. You can't get away from him. And then if it's a Camille, she can lock you with her ultimate and you can't get away. There's a lot of top laners are like this when you get ahead or behind. Like ahead, you snowball, you can kill them over and over again. If you get behind, again, you can't do anything. You can't even be in XP range without getting killed. So it's also the understanding of top lane this episode. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, let me know what you think of Olaf. Do you agree with me that I think he's going to be insanely strong in the upcoming season? Because I do think so. But that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.